When you ask a learning organization simple questions, in the districts that are most struggling, you often get the same answer to the questions. Does everyone in this organization believe all students can learn at high levels? The answer is often no. CCEE stands for the California Collaborative for Educational Excellence. It was created in 2013 under Governor Brown to help local districts, local educational agencies accomplish the goals that they've identified in their local control accountability plans. In essence, someone would want to work with us when they're challenged around how do we bridge the gap, the achievement gap between, say, our students who are doing well and our students who are struggling. Someone would want to connect with us when they're struggling to understand the statewide landscape of things. Who's doing what in the state? Who's funded to do what in the state? Someone would want to connect with the CCEE as a thought partner, an organization who can help them think through and address the challenges they're facing. We serve in a myriad of roles for the state. So some are legislative, meaning we're tasked by the legislature, the Senate and Assembly, and the governor's office to accomplish certain goals. But other initiatives, things that we design because local practitioners say we need help here to accomplish the goals that we've set forth. But there's a gap, and that's where the CCEE helps fill that gap. When the state says that we have a vision around whole child design and education, what is the local responsibility to ensure that that vision is communicated all the way down to the teacher level? Because improving student outcomes is predicated on the elbow-to-elbow time and interaction and engagement between teacher and student. So how does a teacher in the state of California feel the impact of a decision that was made at the board level? And how does it get through the many layers in the system to actually support and help improve teaching and learning? That's the question people are grappling with right now. And what you wind up with are a number of paradoxes and dilemmas associated with what the CCEE has defined as the 4-quadrant model relative to school transformation. And where the work gets really hard is when you're dealing with organizations that aren't willing to learn, and there's no coordinated system and alignment or even interest. What I would term willingness to do what the state is asking them to do. This is the tension, this is the paradox, because this is where people lose patience. This is where the legislature says, why is it taking so long? And unless they can break through those kinds of discussions, and unless they're willing to engage in the deep collaboration and problem solving around those issues with those local districts, they never move them. And typically 40% of any said organizations sit in those bottom 2 quadrants, whether they know it or not. What the CCEE does is we come in and we are very intentional about trying to sit down and say, we are partners with you. And what that requires from us is to really be clear about what the priorities are and what the expectations are. But if everything's important, nothing's important. So when we come into an organization, we try to narrow the focus, eliminate the distractions. Do leaders in this organization, does every leader believe that all students can learn at high levels? In struggling systems, you will find the answer, not all leaders. That's the heartbeat of an organizational learning system, is your belief systems. And the second question is, do the people in your organization know what your vision is, the board's vision is, and the mission is of the organization? So the answer to acceleration for schools that are struggling is really about getting them in a position to focus. And in small school systems, that's really difficult because you can have too much of a good thing. You can have too many things to think about. So our organization comes in and says, this is not important. This is important, but not right now. This is what you need to focus on. And we try to simplify the playing field and provide the learning organization and the people within it credible cover, credible sponsorship that the CCEE is saying, this is what you need to focus on. There are people and organizations in the system that the CCEE is really needed. And I don't know how we would move them without an organization that is capable of doing that kind of work.